I think this was the first time when. Oh no, I had no sound, right? So I forgot to turn my microphone on. So I have been speaking for no reason up until now. Okay, so anyway, I'm like 5 minutes earlier than I established. I was supposed to start at 9 p.m. my local time. Anyway, hi there. If this is your first time on the show, this is last week on BitcoinTakeover.com. I will also try to live stream from my phone to the Bitcoin Takeover Twitter channel. I see that it's kind of redundant since I have managed to make it work on my main Twitter channel, which I think is great. But as I prepared this, and today I'm going to be playing Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, which is one of the all-time classics. It was released a few months before I was even born. It's really great. I can't praise it enough. Where do I find it? I can't even recognize the graphics, so it's this one. It's the shield. I hope that you get to hear the in-game sounds, so let me turn up the sound. And at the same time, let me set... Okay, so you don't hear it because so far it was in the headphones and... There's still a lot for me to figure out, okay? So take me easy. Yeah, so I'm supposed to set up my phone to do the live stream and then we can begin talking. So just 2 minutes. Okay, so this is it. I'm streaming from two different angles. There's one, so I think you get the sound from the soundboard. And you get to see the story of this game. It's about, you know, the Triforce and lots of mystical stuff. It's not very interesting, so I don't think this has one of the best stories around, even though it has one of the best contexts with time travel. But what was I about to say? I want to see the comments if there are any, and I'm using an app that's called Restream, which helps me broadcast all across Twitter and YouTube and also Twitch. If you're on Twitch, you can also subscribe to me there. And this is a show where I talk about Bitcoin while I'll play video games, so it's pretty straightforward. I'm gonna look at Twitter, so okay, I have a game that I started here. I don't want to continue with that one because it would be unfair. The point is to start a new one, and I'm going to call it Bitcoin. How do I delete? Oh, it's old school. So I have to get back and replace every letter from here. B... I feel like an idiot. C, that's correct. So I have to move the cursor to the right. O, I. It can only be Bitcoin. But that's fine, I don't care. Come on, Bitcoin, let's go, let's start. Okay, so while I play this game, which starts with you sleeping and being awoken by Princess Zelda, who asks for help, let me talk about some of the work that I have done this week. And I hope that this also works on my phone, which live streams on my other Twitter account. So let's see. If you have any questions, I don't know how you can ask them because I'm simultaneously on YouTube and on Twitter and on Twitch. So let me open these separately. I'm gonna put the chat window on the side so I get to see what you're saying, if there's anything that you're saying. I hope that you interact with this stream because it's a lot more fun. if you do. Okay. There it goes. Can't hear you. I hear white noise. Okay, it works now. That's all that matters. I'm gonna put this into... Okay, so there is still some setting up required in YouTube. Zelda from 91, A Link to the Past. And the thumbnail should be this one, which I created for this stream. So let me get this right all the way to the end. Okay, so I see that you're most active on YouTube. I'm gonna put this on the side. And now let's focus on actual work, which is more like play. But how do you tell the difference when you're into Bitcoin? It's like work is play. Nothing makes sense anymore. Let me enlarge this. Okay, I think this is good. So the story about Zelda is that there's this wizard named Aghanim who has done something to the other missing girls, and Zelda is the only remaining one. Aghanim seized control of the castle and now is trying to open the 7 wise men's seal. I'm in the dungeon of the castle. Please help me. It starts out just like every other story about saving princesses in the late 80s, early 90s. Don't leave the house. Yeah, as if I care about your advice. This is actually subtext about the lockdowns. He told me not to leave the house. He was an authoritative man with a mustache, and he told me to stay inside. And I picked up a lamp, and I'm gonna break his house like hardcore. I'm gonna pick up these vases, throw them away, smash them against the wall, because he told me to stay inside, and I don't accept any kind of locking down. Look at me going outside. Is your face naked, Link? Yes, it is. Oh, I have low battery on the controller. This is convenient, so I should set up a cable to recharge this. This shouldn't take long because I have one on my desk. I just need to find it. This hasn't happened to me before, so I'm surprised that this is the first time when it says that the battery is low. So it's all here. Let's see approximately how long it can take. Maybe I can do this for an hour. It doesn't say exactly how long I can play. Kind of underwhelming. So let me throw all of these bushes against his house because he told me to stay in and I don't want to. Oh yeah, nothing says, help me, I'm in the dungeon of the castle. Nothing says I'm a rebel better than throwing bushes inside someone's houses. I know there's a hidden path from outside of the castle to the garden inside. I know, I've only played this like a dozen times. I don't think I ever beat it, so I gave up before I finished it, which is shameful for such a great game, but whatever. Okay, so I throw away all the bushes, I pick up a rupee. That's what they call these. They look more like rubies or emeralds, but they call them rupees. I think the ruby is red, so I'm not going to think too much about it. So let's talk about the first article that I wrote this week, which is called Introducing the Hashtag Lightning Kills Shitcoin Storage, which is inspired by Hodlonaut's torch from 2019 and the tiny torch from... So let me also attack these guards with bushes. The lightning torch, which was called the LN Tiny Torch, also from 2019. And these had different purposes. There was the LN Trust Chain by Hodlonaut, which had the purpose of proving that people trust each other enough to send increasingly larger amounts and in the end donate the amount to a Venezuelan cause. And then there was the Tiny Torch, whose purpose was to prove that Lightning can do microtransactions. And one of them was adding, I think, 1000 bit cents, that's what I call Satoshis, every step, and that's Hodlonaut's torch. While LN Tiny Torch was adding 1 bit cent every step, So it was keeping transactions small to prove that Lightning can handle these very tiny microtransactions that are basically worthless in terms of purchase power. You can't buy anything with that kind of money. But it was still useful, it was still interesting. And I decided to start one because we are in the middle of a bull market. There are a lot more people watching, and I feel like the message of Lightning and the mission of it gets diluted by all of these new projects that promise to do 1,000 transactions per second and promise to be decentralized and secure. And that's where the lie is, because it's easy to do thousands of transactions per second if you are centralized. Okay, Zelda, I'm gonna help you, just let me finish with the bushes. I know how I can get in, so stop nagging me. I'm gonna be able to pick this up later. Oh no, so the battery has been depleted. I'm supposed to find a USB-C cable in my drawer. There wasn't one on my desk. This is what happens in live settings. So I found a cable, I just need to plug it in my USB port, and then I'm gonna continue. This has no precedent in the history of my live streams. Okay, I plugged it. Now it should work. It connected. It's charging. I should be good to go. The only difference is that I need to stay closer to the computer just to not stretch the cable too much, but it's fine. I can go along with this. So the story of the torch is that we never really had one of these initiatives for Lightning during the bull market. And right now we have millions of people who are watching what's going on, and they buy into that narrative that Bitcoin can do only 7 transactions per second. And they're going to be like, oh, watch me buy Digibyte or Dash or whatever. I don't know. I don't even know what's popular these days. But all of these projects capitalize on this fact that on the base layer you can only do so many transactions because it's very secure and it's very decentralized. And there is always this trilemma where you get to choose between decentralization and security and scalability. You can't really have them all. Scale with layers and you're going to build something on top of a secure, robust and decentralized base layer. You're gonna be able to do a lot. But the reason why there isn't a lot going on okay, so I just met this guy who told me to stay inside, told me not to leave the house. But since I left the house, he's giving me a sword, which is nice. I can't think of cops stopping you on the street, seeing you that you're outside after curfew, and they're gonna be like, oh, here's a sword, or here's a gun, just have fun. So this is why video games are not like real life. You get swords and guns. And now I get to kill these people. Look at you, look at your armor. You're dead, mister. I think this is gas for my lamp, or torch or whatever. And speaking of torches, I started one this week and it's called Lightning Killed Shitcoins. And I wanted the message to be as aggressive and clear as possible. That, how do I use this? That Lightning has this capability to kill shitcoins. Because basically when you use Lightning, you figure out that most of the altcoin use cases vanish in a few seconds when you figure out, whoa, did I just transact the hardest money that we have for such a low fee at such a great speed and with this degree of decentralization. And not only that, but you also get privacy. And I feel like one of the unsung advantages of Lightning is that you get transaction privacy, which is a lot better than the stuff you find in altcoins like Dash, and I think even Zcash. For example, Zcash has very good privacy when you use those private shielded transactions, which use zero knowledge proofs. But by default, because it's an opt-in type of privacy, by default you don't get any kind of privacy. So with Lightning you get a default degree of privacy, which I think is unsung and deserves a lot more credit. I just realized that I have Telegram open, so I should close it and be more careful, because I don't want any sounds getting in the way. Open the door. He doesn't want to. When did these two appear? They were gone when I went off screen. I can cut trees, I can cut bushes, I can try to cut logs. That was an evil bee trying to kill me. So if you get the chance, I think that the Lightning Kills shitcoin storage has gotten to, I think, the 80th bearer. It started with 1 bit, which is 100 satoshis or 100 bit cents. And the point is to increase the amount with 1 bit cent or 1 satoshi every step. And people have been doing this about 80 times, so I hope that there were 80 different people who took the torch and passed it. I didn't check to see if there was any duplicity with people taking it multiple times. I know that I took it twice, but once I took it with my main account and the other time I took it with my BTCTK VR account. So if anyone is going to keep a ledger and not a blockchain, I hope, of all of these transactions, then it's going to appear as 2 different entities. I took it once for myself and once for Bitcoin Takeover, so I don't think that really counts. But if you take it with the same account, well, there's nothing wrong with that. It happened with every other torch that we have had. But the idea is for this to get in as many hands as possible. And even today I've recommended to someone to install Blue Wallet because they were not running their full node. It would take a few days for them to do so. Everyone began to act strangely. I suppose it's only a matter of time before I'm affected too. It's like a subtext for coronavirus. Everyone starts acting crazy. You meet a couple of sane people, they're like, I don't know what's wrong with everyone, but they started acting strange. And they don't attack you, they just leave you alone. I did not premeditate this, so I did not think about it before I started. I just picked Zelda because it's a great game. But now that I put it in the recent context, I mean, I was under curfew and I defied it, and I met the person who put me under curfew, and now look at me going outside while everyone is going mad. They're attacking me because I defied the orders to stay inside. I love the music in this, by the way. It feels so majestic. It gives you that impression that you're truly doing something important. And in every video game you're doing something important because you're the protagonist. I have yet to find a video game which puts you on the passenger seat, even though I don't think I want to get cocked by playing something else other than something which makes me the protagonist. Who would want to not be the protagonist? Like, what's the point? So I suppose that these soldiers get respawned after I kill them, and this is the right way in which I should go. To F. It's like a tiny dungeon, but it's not even close to the sophisticated nature of others that I'm gonna be conquering and exploring along the way. So yeah, let's get back to the idea of the lightning torch. I hope that at least, I guess, 1,000 people will take it. I suppose that there are a lot more than 1,000 people on Bitcoin Twitter, and if everyone at least installs something like Blue Wallet or Wallet of Satoshi just to take the torch and pass it, that's still a major milestone, because that's going to be their first exposure to this technology, to the second layer of Bitcoin. And it's major. I think everyone should be aware about it, and I'm glad that I can do my part. Other than this, I don't know what to say. I'm happy that it has a life of its own. Wait, so what do I do? What am I supposed to do here? I'm not going to try to nanny the torch into, you know, trying to coordinate it and see who gets it and tell people, shame them for not passing it on time. This is up to the community, and it should be as decentralized as possible. There was even a moment when the torch got forked because somebody was holding onto it, and the person who was supposed to receive it did not have the patience to wait for someone to send it to him. So he took his own money and said, screw this, I'm going to take the torch with my own money and pass it to somebody else. And at some point there was the lightning kills shitcoins torch, and there was also the LN kills shitcoins torch. And people thought it would be a good idea to merge them. I think they merged at some point. I thought it would be a better idea to let them continue as forks and see which one gets first to 1,000. Like, which one... Oh man, I died on the first level. This sucks. I mean, I suck. Save and continue. So at least there's a checkpoint. Like, I feel like a super newbie right now. I should not waste these because maybe I'm going to need them later. So I can go here, and I can also go to another door down here. Actually, I can't. Or I can. Wait, let me see if it's the same hall, and you just access it in different ways. So it is the same hall, if you ask me. Yeah. It's just a matter of choice. So back to the torch. I'm very happy that I get to do this, and I'm surprised that not many people have thought about this, because it's essential for people to discover Lightning right now. Look at the base layer fees. They're insane nowadays. For the past 3 days they went above 200 bit cents. They're going to go higher unless the hash rate is going to get turned on. I have heard rumors that this is an issue with some Chinese miners that they switched off for a while, and that's the reason why we are encountering these problems. I think on the long term this is great in the sense that we learn to not rely too much on these Chinese miners, but at the same time, who am I to judge? It's a decentralized network. Every actor acts according to their best interest and their incentives. All I know is that I'm not going to pay 200 bit cents or 200 satoshis for one transaction. I'm happy that I got to open a few Lightning channels last week, and I think it was one of the last chances to do so. Okay, I got a map, and I press X to see where I am. So I was saying that I'm happy that I got to open some channels last week, as this was very important, and it helped me set myself up. I love the way he fell. I set myself up and now I can transact with most people. I have some channels with random people around the community, and I'm most happy about these because with Lightning there was always this debate that you're going to have people who open channels just for the sake of collecting fees, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's the incentive to keep going. But when you end up being a node like Ellen Big, I'm just messing around with the statues, don't mind me. So if you're like Ellen Big and you open channels just for the sake of collecting fees, you're basically centralizing the network because you're going to be so well connected with everyone that if somebody new wants to jump in and use the Lightning Network, it's a lot easier to connect to you and pay routing fees than open multiple channels. And there's nothing wrong with that, but if I get to choose which channels I'm going to open, they're going to be open with random people from the community. Like, they like to call themselves plebs. I'm not going to call anyone ever a pleb. I think that's a bit offensive. They are only plebs if they call themselves plebs, but I'm not going to call anyone a pleb. Like, I don't believe in social classes. I know that there's this division, and there's always going to be this division between newcomers, and they call themselves OGs, and the ones who come later and discover Bitcoin, maybe during a bull run. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't care when you got in. All I care about is what you think about this currency and how you approach it, and if you care about its decentralization. Oh, I'm about to die. At least I got a boomerang. The boomerang. Like a boomer. Okay, bad joke. How do I get to pick the boomerang? Oh. This is how. So as I was saying, it's important to get on the Lightning Network, and it's important to open channels with a number of people as opposed to companies that are well connected. I care about the decentralization of the network, and I would not want it to end up being a convenience only for large channel operators. Come on. I wanted to throw the boomerang, I pressed the wrong button, and I died once again. So this is the button for the boomerang. I was spawned in the exact same place where I was spawned last time. And I can see that the boomerang has this stunning effect. Do I still have the map? Because I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. So I'm here. And I want to go to the red dot, I guess. Or on the map below. I don't even know how this works. I guess the red dot in B1 is where I died. And I want to get back there. So how do I get to B1? I suppose 2F is above and B1 is below, so I should go below. Let's see if this logic works. Anyway, in terms of the Lightning Network, I think the time is overdue because we have taken advantage of the base layer fees that were low for most of the time, you know. People have learned to make transactions during weekends and pay the lowest fees possible because it was convenient and it worked for a long time. But now that we have transaction fees that are high and not very convenient, and as we see today, it's Sunday and we still don't have that weekend discount on base layer fees, it's important to consider a plan to onboard the Lightning Network in the coming days and weeks and months. Like, I guess we should just snipe for small fees and open channels whenever we get the chance, because that's important and that helps us expand the network and also helps us participate it. I'm pretty sure that in the end there's going to be this convenience where, just like people use custodial wallets nowadays like Blue Wallet, and they don't care much about running their own node because the amounts are very low. And I also use Tip&Me, so I should not judge anyone because I find Tip&Me very convenient. It's kind of a nice trade-off between security and receiving small tips. I don't think I've ever received a phenomenally large tip, so from this point of view, I never regarded Tip&Me as a security issue or something that can cause me the loss of lots of funds, and they never had any issues up to this point. But this is a bad argument to present, as people who use Coinbase will say the same, but we all know what Coinbase does with data, and we don't know anything about Tip-in, so I haven't heard about any of their practices when it comes to customer data. I hope that they are nice and ethical, but we should not trust, we should always verify and not assume that people have a good will and always want to help. At some point you have to make money out of something. So how do you make money if you offer your service for free? You either allow for donations to be sent. Come on. But at least, you know, I'm going to be a bit more advanced, so I wanted to get to another point. Oh no, I got respawned here. Anyway, there is an article in the description if you can see it. I hope that this re-streaming application has not altered my description. I've lost my patience. As I was saying, there is a link in the description with all the articles that I wrote this week, and if you want to read more about the considerations and philosophy of this lightning torch, which is called Lightning Kills Shitcoins, if you want to find it and see who the latest bearer is, just search for Lightning Kills Shitcoins on Twitter. I hope that it expands outside of Twitter and people are going to pass it on Facebook, for example. I haven't heard much about what's going on Facebook in regards to Bitcoin, but I'm pretty sure that there are lots of users who would be interested. So if anyone can make that happen and you don't mind giving that data to the Zuck, then I guess that would be very convenient and nice, and I'd be grateful if you spread the message there, and everyone else for that matter, because this is a community project. The fact that I created it is irrelevant. It doesn't matter from now on. So I'm supposed to do something and open this gate, but I don't know what. I suppose there is some sort of switch, or I need to go below. So yeah, I need to go to B1. I suppose that it's the exit to the left. Exit stage left. So I take the left and then see if I accomplish anything. Anyway, if this is your first time around here, there are ways in which you can subscribe to my weekly newsletter. So if you go on the Bitcoin Takeover website, which is bitcoin-takeover.com or btctkvr.com, I also bought that domain and made it redirect to the website because it's a lot easier to remember and type. And there was even the guy who owns the Bitcoin Takeover domain who contacted me and wanted to sell it to me, but I was like, nah. So there's nothing that he can do with that domain, honestly. And I don't care much. Like, I'm not going to participate in this game of selling overpriced domains for speculative reasons. If he wants to build a competing website with his domain, then so be it. It's going to be hard for him to keep up. But I'm not going to partake in this kind of speculation. I don't want to encourage it. I would be willing to buy it for a reasonable price, but not in the thousands of dollars just because he thinks it's valuable. And he might as well sell it to someone who finds it valuable. I don't care. Good luck to them building a website that competes with mine, because, you know, it takes a lot of work and not everyone can do it. The best they can do is blackmail and maybe create a porn site or something that I don't like with that domain. You know what I like about these early levels? It's the fact that they teach you how to do stuff without actually putting any text in your face. So this serves as some sort of tutorial, and it shows you, you know, if you throw vases at these people, they're going to fall off because they get pushed back a lot. But it's not holding your hand during this process, and this is something very old school, very retro. You have to learn it yourself. There's no one to assist you during this process. And I would rather have it this way. I mean, I died a few times. Okay, so I'm supposed to go to B2, I think? Yeah, this is where I died last time when I was here. And I can also shoot the boomerang diagonally. This is where I found the boomerang, I think. I'm steadily getting better and learning. And this is part of the ethos of these old school games. As I said, I did play this before, but I'm not very specialized in Zelda. Like, I haven't played this in a long time. It must have been at least 2 years. So I don't remember all the secrets, I don't remember everything going on. I don't know most of the map. I get lost in this early maze. Look at him swinging. I'm about to die in one hit. That'd be most unfortunate. You got a big key. This is the master key of the dungeon. It can open many locks that small keys cannot. Who said that size doesn't matter? Thank you, Bitcoin. I had a feeling you were getting close. Listen carefully. The wizard is magically controlling all the soldiers in the castle. I feared the worst for my father. The wizard is an inhuman fiend with strong magical powers. Do you understand? No, I don't understand. Not at all. So it just repeats the text once again. Okay. So what if I say that I don't understand? How much of a fool can you be in this game? You have to press yes. Alright, let's get out of here before the wizard notices. I know a secret path, but first we have to go to the first floor. Let's go. Let's see what's inside the box. It gives me money, but it doesn't give me health. And I was too much of an idiot to waste these pots which contain hearts before the fight. So right now I'm going to have to struggle. I hope that there's a checkpoint somewhere here, so I don't have to start over and save the princess once again. But this is kind of a premiere in the Zelda series. Usually you have to save the princess, and that happens at the end of the game. But right now, look at her. It's been like, what, 15 minutes of actual gameplay? because I've talked a lot and, you know, I wasn't too focused on what I'm doing. And look at me just walking around casually with the princess. Once again, I love this music. This actually hurt me. It struck me like lightning. And as I said, this is the t-shirt that I got at the Lightning conference in Berlin. Okay, so this is, I guess, the fairest way of spawning me back. I got the princess, I got the key, but I still have to fight this idiot. Get the rupee! Every coin matters. Okay, I have full health. I have no good reason to waste these pots and get more hearts. I should talk about the second article that I wrote this week. And it's an article which is more like a review of a video that I've done, which is actually an unboxing and first impression video on a Bitcoin product. I don't know what I've done there, but I don't want to get back to him and get hurt. So please leave, sir. Please go away. He doesn't want to let me do the video game trick. Oh, he's still here. So how am I supposed to... Oh, okay. The game was a lot fairer than I expected. So I did not lose on the first touch. I did not lose any health points. So... Okay. I'm looking at the streaming monitor. It says in here that I have been online for 5 minutes. I don't think this is right. On on OBS it says it has been 45 minutes. I don't know what's going on. I hope that you can see this. Let me check Twitter. I think this is right. I have been online for 5 minutes. Yeah, so there's something wrong with the meter, but otherwise, let me keep going. So, as I was saying, the second article that I wrote this week is about the Kobo Vault and Kobo tablet. And just in case you're not aware, the Kobo Vault is a hardware wallet that was launched by Kobo, and Kobo is a manufacturer which is best known for producing hardware wallets for Chinese miners. And their original product was very expensive and built to last rain and, you know, a lot of humidity and dust and mud and all of the conditions, all of the adverse weather conditions that you find in Chinese mines. And last year when I had Lixin Liu, who is the CEO of Kobo, on the Bitcoin Takeover podcast, and I think that's Season 4, Episode 9, he told me that he was about to launch a product that is friendlier to consumer markets, because not many people afford to pay $500 for a hardware wallet. So he actually did release it. It's called a Kobo Vault. It comes in 2 different versions. There's a standard one and there's a pro one. The main difference is that the pro one has a fingerprint scanner and also comes with its own battery, which is important if you want to keep the device at peak capacity. The main one, which costs about $120, comes with a very interesting feature to run on AAA batteries. And that's very unique on the hardware wallet market, because You know, most hardware wallets like the Trezor and the Ledger Nano S, not the X, don't actually have a battery. They rely on connecting to your computer or your phone via USB, and that's where they get their power. But the Ledger Nano X has an internal battery, which is used for making transactions maybe when you operate on a mobile phone via Bluetooth. And the Kobo is an entirely cold storage device, so it's air-gapped, it never gets connected to your computer. The only way to install updates is to connect an SD card, a micro SD card actually. And that's how you put new firmware on it. And also it has a camera to scan QR codes, and that can be a very good way to make transactions, you know, without connecting to anything and staying air-gapped. And I got to say that during my experience, my unboxing experience that you can find in the article and you can also find on the YouTube channel, I've discovered that the Kobo Vault has one of the best packages that I've ever seen in the hardware wallet space. They have taken every major step towards securing the device and making sure that there's not going to be any kind of supply chain attack in the middle. And you have all of these small old school tricks, like a carton box which opens in a very specific way in a line that's in the middle, and you're supposed to remove that, and once removed you cannot put it back. So that's one of the first layers of security. And then when you open the box, it has a seal on it. The screen has the sticker which doesn't allow you to see what's happening, so you have to remove it before you use it. And when you first connect your Kobo, so it assumes that someone is actually capable to make all of these expensive steps towards replicating the original packaging. After you remove this, you still have to register the device on the Kobo website. So that's major, and I like that they take this very seriously, so you can tell that this is a premium device and they actually did their best to make sure that you get a hardware wallet that doesn't get tampered. There is no man in the middle to interfere with the device and install malicious software or put some malicious chip inside of it. From this point of view, I think it's possibly the best out there because it has the most advanced way of verifying. And it's not just one way, it consists of multiple layers. And as you remove one, you're going to find another one. And in the end, you register by scanning a QR code on the Kobo website. And that's the final step, which tells you whether or not that device has been registered before on their website, which I think is major, because if somebody wants to attack your device, they're going to have to register, and if somebody registers there, then you're going to get a message letting you know that you're operating basically a compromised device. So this is very, very good. Other than this, what I like about the Kobo is the fact that it has this Android type of keyboard, so when you type on it, it has this experience which is very familiar. There is no learning curve. You don't have to learn anything new to use it. And I think this is very important. And as I have discussed with Lazy Ninja, with whom I have had an interview this week, and that's actually the next article about which I will be talking. If the interface is simple, then people get encouraged to use longer passwords. It's this kind of situation where if you like the interface and it's smooth and you realize that you can do a lot with it and you feel comfortable using the device, then you will not mind if you put an extra digit in your PIN or in your passphrase. And this is the case with Kobo because it has the fastest way of typing. I also like the Trezor Model T for its large touchscreen, but it doesn't compare to the larger one and the typing experience, which is very similar to a smartphone that you get with the Kobo Vault. I think right now I'm running into circles. I don't know where I'm going. There's a secret passage in the throne room that leads to Sanctuary. I'm sure the old man there will help us. So I think I finally discovered the way. I went outside, I ran in circles. That ornamental shelf should open. You have a light. It's pitch dark inside, and you can't without one. If you're ready, let's go. Help me push it far to the left. Was it to the left or from the left? It was from the left. Okay. And it's supposedly pitch black, so I'm supposed to use the lamp. This is actually an interesting presentation, and it highlights how this new generation of Zelda works and what kind of features it has. I know that, for example, there was Super Mario World, which highlighted all of these 16-bit generation advantages. I think from many points of view this is more advanced. Makes use of lots of tricks and gimmicks. And I think the peak of this generation in terms of graphics and in terms of gameplay is on Super Metroid. Even though you can argue that Donkey Kong Country has nicer graphics, I think Super Metroid is just next level. That kind of game can get released today and be considered a masterpiece. Anyway, let's get back to talking about the Kobo and mention, okay, I have praised it, I have said all the parts that I like about it. Now let's talk about what I don't like. It's the fact that you get recommended to download a mobile application, which makes a lot of sense because you scan a public key QR code and from there you connect to the wallet. And that's very easy and straightforward, and that's going to be your way of checking your balance and making transactions and interacting with the wallet. You can even keep it as a watch-only wallet, and that works. But that takes your XPub. So when it connects to the internet, there's going to be Kobo, which is the third party which facilitates this transaction. It's not a transaction, it's an operation, sorry. It's the third party which facilitates this verification process. And when they are in the middle, you have to trust them with your XPub, and your XPub has all of the addresses that you generate with your wallet and all of your transactions. So it's bad for privacy. It's good for security, so I'm pretty sure that it does an incredible job and it's completely air-gapped. And it even has features like fingerprint scanning, and you know, it's the kind of fingerprint scanning that doesn't or can't get leaked online because it's only on the device and it never gets connected to the internet. So I think that's a nice touch, no pun intended, because you're supposed to touch with your fingerprint. But I'm not sure if the Kobo is very good for privacy, and that's something that you can mitigate a lot easier with a Trezor, for example, because it's compatible with lots of third-party wallets. I think also the Kobo works with Blue Wallet, and you can connect Blue Wallet to your full node, your Electrum server, and that's going to help you stay private and not leak your XPub with any third party. But I feel like there should be more documentation about this, because your first instinct is to follow all the instructions that you get on the screen. For the purpose of the video, I have done everything by the book. But at the end of the day, I guess everyone cares about their financial privacy. So we should consider this. And this is possibly the only criticism that I have. Maybe that there's another one which concerns the fact that Kobo makes their own security chips. So when, for example, you have the cold card or the Bitbox 02, they use kind of a general purpose chip that you can buy and build your own device if you want to. But in Kobo's case, you cannot. So even if you have the schematics and the specifications, you cannot find that exact same chip. So that's kind of an inconvenience. And it also goes back to the debate that we have had last week about open source software. And the fact that it should be free and open source, even though it sounds like the developers cannot make any money, it's very helpful because it gives people incentives to verify the code. And I guess this is the perfect introduction to the next section, because I've had the interview with Lazy Ninja. And just in case you're not aware, Lazy Ninja is a guy who has hacked the Trezor. Actually, no, I don't think he hacked the Trezor, so I take that back. He has hacked the cold card, and he has hacked the Bitbox 02. And these two are best known for receiving improvements from him. And I think it was due to Lazy Ninja that the chip and the cold card got changed. It was the 8X608A, and they changed it with a new batch of products to the 608B. So they went from A to B on the chip serial number to fix some issues. And the issue that Lazy Ninja has discovered in the cold card is that you can swap the chip, and basically if you don't know the pin, you can still swap the chip, at least if you don't upgrade to the latest firmware. And you can put a chip which has a pin that you choose yourself, so it's only a matter of using some electronic tools that are not expensive. Pull the switch over there. Oh no! What have I done? The room got flooded with all of these snakes. At least I have full health. So I spoke about the Kobo unboxing video and review. You can check the link in the description. I have a whole list of what I like and what I don't like about the Kobo. And by the way, I'm going to be interviewing Lix and Liu on Wednesday. And after the interview, I guess it's gonna take just one day until I upload the interview on all the platforms, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts and my own RSS feed if you want some extra privacy, or you prefer to download the audio file on a device that you keep yourself, like, I don't know, an iPod Nano. You cannot listen to online podcasts on that one unless you download the file and you copy it from your computer. You're going to be able to do that, and you can already do that with all the episodes by following. So you go to bitcoin-takeover.com/audio, and you're going to find all of the episodes there, and you can just download them. So now I have another major story point. Bitcoin, who helped me escape from the dungeon when I was captive, the wizard said, "Once I have finished with you, the final one, the seal of the wise men will open. Bitcoin, you must not let land of Hyrule fall into the wizard's clutches. If he releases the seal of the 7 wise men, evil power will overwhelm this land. Before that happens, before it's too late, destroy the wizard before he destroys all of Hyrule. You can do it, you can." I sense that a mighty evil force guides the wizard's actions and augments his magical power. The only weapon potent enough to defeat the wizard is the legendary Master Sword. It is said that the village elder is a descendant of one of the 7 wise men. Maybe he can tell you more. I will mark his house on your map. But watch your every move. I'm certain that the castle soldiers will be looking for you. I will hide Princess Zelda here. Do not worry, seek the Elder. Do you understand? Okay. So let me open this treasure chest and see what's inside. Oh, it's an extra heart. It's a heart container which increases my health power, health points, HP. That's what it stands for, right? Health points. Meet the Elder of the village and get the Master Sword. And Zelda says, be careful out there. I know you can save Hyrule. That's very encouraging. This looks like a church, right? Really interesting. You have the benches, you have the painted glass. I'm not sure what you call that. It's vitrail in French, as far as I know. Anyway, I love the graphics and the gameplay in this game. And you get that 8-bit Zelda game music. It feels like Zelda right now. It reminds you of that first game and you're like, oh man, this is just like the old times. There was a soldier hiding in the bushes. I'm supposed to find rupees. You stack rupees in this game. Oh, and these are mines. You're not supposed to walk on them. They're going to kill you. Actually, not kill you, but take one of your health points. So you don't want to do that. Now let's take a look at the map. I'm right here. And I'm supposed to go there. So all the way to the left and one screen down. I like how they tried a pseudo 3D style with this. It's not really 3D, it's more like isometric. I think that's the correct term for it. Well, let's see what else is here. Do I have the Death Mountain? I suppose there's a Death Mountain. There's always a Death Mountain in Zelda, and I think this is it. It's this one. With the broken bridge. I will get there eventually. Oh, and there's also like a running button as far as I know. What about this one? No, I think you need to unlock that ability. This way to Kakariko Village. I remember Kakariko Village from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's nice that they keep a tradition of the places that you visit. And I think Breath of the Wild as a game is very meta in the sense that it implies that there's a cycle and the story repeats all the time with a different hero. So there's nothing special about a certain Link, but it's basically the same hero fighting the same evil. Let's see what happens in here. There's this wizard with a magic orb. You look like you might have an interesting destiny. May I tell your fortune? Hocus pocus. You'll find the Elder Sahasrara? Now I will take 20 rupees. I hope you'll be healthy. Eehaha. He stole my money. He gave me an irrelevant piece of information. I already knew that I was going to meet the Elder. I guess now I know the name, but does that really help me? So this way to Kakariko Village. Unfortunately, this is not really an RPG, so you don't get any experience points from killing mobs. Wanted, this is the criminal who kidnapped Zelda. Call a soldier if you see him. Let's see how nice people are. Who? Oh, it's you, Bitcoin. What can I do for you, young man? The elder. Oh, no one has seen him since the wizard began collecting victims. What, Master Sword? Well, I don't remember the details exactly, but long ago a prosperous people known as the Hylia inhabited this land. Legends tell of many treasures that the Hylia hid throughout the land. The Master Sword, a mighty blade forged against those with evil hearts, is one of them. People say that now it is sleeping deep in the forest. Do you understand the legend? Anyway, look for the elder. There must be someone in the village who knows where he is. You take care now, Bitcoin. Such a nice old lady. Does she have a name? No, she doesn't. What else is going on here? She has a bookshelf, 2 beds. She lives alone. Why does she have 2 beds? Do you have any secrets to tell me, old lady? I throw bushes. And there's this house which has a ceiling that's covered in moss. Yo, Bitcoin, this house used to be a hideout for a gang of thieves. What was their elder's name? Oh yeah, his name was Blind and he hated bright light a lot. I was hoping I would find some money, but now I go deeper down this rabbit hole. And what's going on here? Oh, it's like a puzzle, so I'm supposed to move these blocks so that I get to open the treasure chests. And which one should I move first? So I'm not supposed to put one next to the other because it gets stuck. It's an interesting puzzle. So not this one, because I cannot push to the right. If I move this one down and I move this one to the right, I don't think it's a good idea. What about this one? I can push it down 2 steps, but then I block my way to this chest. So it's one of these 2. If I push this one down and then I push the other one to the right, like this, I just made way for myself. And if I push this one down and this one to the right, I have unlocked the way to this chest. And also this one. Now, I'm supposed to also... I don't think I can access the other 2, so I effectively blocked my way. Which sucks. I suppose there's a way to get all of them. I guess I rushed my decision when I pushed this one down. Because now I can move this one, but I can move any other significant block, so... Basically, this is the most I could make out of this loot puzzle. I got like 40 rupees, which isn't much. Okay, thief, I'll see you around. Okay. So, as I was saying, so I think I finished my talk about the Kobo Vault and Kobo Tablet. You can find the link in the description below. If you're for the first time around here, don't forget to like and subscribe and everything that you can do on whichever platform you're using. This is kind of experimental. I haven't done this before. I used to only do the live streams on YouTube. Now I've discovered that I can do it on YouTube and Twitch and Twitter at the same time. So I think this is kind of significant and I should pay attention to it. I should do it more often because I get more visibility, and you know, maybe that there are not many people watching right now. I'm not sure how many are. There's a couple of them on YouTube, and there are some on Twitch. And I'm grateful for this, so thank you for watching me play Legend of Zelda not Breath of the Wild, The Link to the Past. I can play Breath of the Wild at some point. Okay. Wait, so I got reported by that lady because she's a Karen. And she thought, you know, this guy is a wanted criminal, so I should report him ASAP. Hey lady. She locked the door. Open the door, lady. Open the door. I want to talk with you. Why did you report me? I'm gonna hit boomerangs against your door. I'm gonna smash your windows and come inside. Just so I get to talk to you. You're such a Karen. You, sir, have you been going through life without one of my hold anything bottles? Well, step right up and make your life complete. I've got one on sale now for the low price of 100 rupees. I'll take one, what do I care? Goodbye, thanks a lot. Now hold it above your head for the whole world to see, okay? This is kind of an inside joke about the way Link always holds everything above his head. Like, let's say he found this computer mouse and he's like, da-da-da-dam. That's his way of announcing that he has gained a new item. What did I say? This is a magic bottle. You can store an item inside and then use it later. Thanks for the directions. Speaking of directions, I get a compass, and just in case you're not aware, this is south, this is east, and this is west. Whoa, I feel like I'm learning something today. So let's talk about my interview with Lazy Ninja, which is the last article that I wrote this week on the Bitcoin Takeover website. I think Lazy Ninja is very nice for what he can do because he can hack into hardware wallets, and he has proven the whole world that he's capable of hacking. And instead of doing it for some malevolent reason and stealing people's bitcoins, he reports his findings to the companies and possibly gets some bounties in exchange. So I guess he's one of the white hat hackers, but if you look at his picture, he has this very strange blonde hairdo and he shoots laser from his one eye. So he's a purple cyclops with a Pinocchio style nose, a large mouth, and shoots lasers from his eyes. So you don't want to mess with him, but at the same time he's very nice for the time being. So you can listen to him on this 2.5 hour interview that I recorded with him. I like him. He is very honest and very knowledgeable. He doesn't chill what he doesn't like, and he only likes what he thinks is good for himself. So let me read the text in the box, and then I'm going to tell you about this discussion that I've had with him. I can go out cause I'm sick, cough cough. People say I caught this cold. It's the corona from the evil air that is coming down off the mountain. Sniff sniff. This is my bug catching net. I'll use it when I'm better, but for now I'll lend it to you. Okay, you have such a low expectation for your well-being. Like, I'm gonna be in this game for a few days, so you don't think you're gonna get well. You borrowed the bug catching net. There may be some other things you can catch with it too. Like what? This guy caught the Rona and I'm in the same room with him, which means that if I stay for like 15 minutes I'm gonna be infected, and then I can start a super spreader event on Hyrule. All of Kakariko Village can get infected because of me. Because I'm reckless and I did not take the AstraZeneca shot. That guy ran away from me. Oh, there he is. Come back. Let's see what's inside this house. Okay, so I can use the net to catch and put this fairy in a bottle, I think. Come here. Come here. Ah, you stupid fairy. This guy with the mustache. Hi Bitcoin. Sorry about my yard. It's a little overgrown. Thanks for visiting. I'm glad to have company to talk to. I will tell you an interesting story. There is a lake swimming with Zoras at the source of the river, but it is hard to find. The treasure of Zora can turn people into fish. I'd love to see that. Or is it hee hee hee? I don't know. I'm just trying to impersonate this guy with a mustache and a red jacket on. I'm not as cool as him, I'm just wearing the Lightning t-shirt that I got from the Lightning conference in 2019 in Berlin. Not to brag, but I think only like 1,000 of those were made. So I can turn it into an NFT and sell it, I guess. Because that's what you do nowadays, you don't sell physical goods anymore. Nobody wants to touch your dirty little physical goods that can be kept in a drawer for like 50 years. They all want data that may just go in a couple of years when they shut down the network. Mumble mumble, my son really liked to play the flute, but he went to look for the golden power and has not returned. What golden power? I wonder where he is and what he's doing now. And he fell asleep. This is like a bar and this is like an old drunkard. What about you, guy with purple forehead or strange hat? Whoa, I saw her, a very nice young lady at the waterfall of Wishing in the hills where the river begins. Bitcoin, you should meet her, at least once. I'm sure you'll like her. Okay. I'll take this random advice from you, stranger. There's something else on the other side. And I'm supposed to get there, but let me smash this drunk person in the head with the pot that I just picked up. So I suppose I can get in the other way. There's only one way to find out. Yeah, of course. So this is like the kitchen of the bar. And I have a magic bottle, not battle, bottle. You can store an item inside and then use it later. Wait, did I not have one already? So I spent... Oh, I have 2 of them. So this is relieving. I picked up a cock. Watch me walk with a cock in my hands. How long until I get blocked on YouTube and Twitch for saying the word cock in my hands? It's a rooster. But, you know, cock is a synonym. What the hell were you pervs thinking about? It's a rooster. It's a cocorico because it's Cocorico Village. Okay, so he just isolated himself in the corner. Doesn't want to get bothered. I don't blame him. Let's see what's in this house. Oh, it's the boy who got the Rona. Hey you, how do I catch you? Do I have to throw a boomerang? Do I have to catch you with the net? He was too fast. Let's talk to the lady just casually sweeping the floor in front of her house. The rumors say you kidnapped the princess, but I still trust you. Oh, such a nice lady. She did not report me. Let's steal something from her house. Why does she have... I guess this is it's not a hen house. She has roosters in her house. She sleeps next to roosters. This is fun. But there's a crack in the wall, so I guess if I had any bombs, I could actually put a bomb here and see what's next door. Yeah, so she has this very small storage facility next door, and I could visit it if I had any bombs, but how do I get bombs? Hey, here is Bitcoin, the wanted man. Soldiers, anyone come quickly. What if I don't engage with them? What if I'm a nice person and I'm peaceful? They're still coming for me. Oh, you sweet summer child. You thought you could take on me. Okay, so I said I would talk about one of the conversations that I've had with Lazy Ninja. So if you're not following him on Twitter, his account name is Freedom Isn't Safe. In one word, no dashes, no spaces, no nothing, no dots. Freedom isn't safe. And we spoke about one of the most interesting topics in the Bitcoin space, which concerns inheritance and wives, because, you know, we think when we do security setups that we are going to do them for ourselves and we're going to live forever or something, and we're going to live to spend the bitcoins at 1 million, but there's so much that can happen in the meantime. So we need to consider these threat models, and we need to teach our wives, if we have any, how to possibly move the funds if anything bad happens to us. And this is the kind of argument that companies like Casa use when they say you should sign up with us and hand us at least one key to the coins. I very much disagree with this viewpoint. Okay, so here's another Karen who got me reported. Screw you, Karen. Okay, so you should consider the fact that you have to hand the keys to your children or to your wife or to your parents or to somebody who's going to outlive you, possibly, if you get into a car accident. And there's nothing wrong with, I don't know, dying, and this sounds grim, but you might die and there's nothing wrong with losing your coins if you don't want to hand them to somebody. But it feels like a waste, you know, you have spent a lot of time working for them, whether it's mining or any other way of acquiring them. And to give up on your bitcoins when you die, that's kind of selfish. It's your money, you can do whatever you want, but when you think about it, if you had gold, there could be somewhere in your family to get the, you know, the bars or the bullion and use them to better their lives. So if you want to do that, you have to consider a setup. And the choice that Lazy Ninja recommends is that you use metal plates and you put them into some sort of time capsules and you bury them in your parents' garden or something like that, in a place which takes like at least an hour or so of driving. So it's not quite in your backyard, it's not in your office or something, it's not very easy to find, but it still takes some effort. And then you make some sort of pirate map about how you can dig up the bitcoins that you have. And they're not specifically bitcoins, but they are the keys that help you access the bitcoins. So it's a map of a map if you think about it, because the treasure still has to be unlocked. So it's more like a map of a key. You can also have multiple keys that you create for yourself. I'll mark the spot on your map. Here you are. So I have spoken to the right guy and I need to go there, on the other side of the world, basically. And another conversation that's interesting, and I've had it with Lazy Ninja, concerns multi-sigs. And they are so fashionable nowadays. And if you're not aware what a multi-sig is, it's basically a contract on the Bitcoin blockchain which says that you cannot spend the funds until a certain number of signatures have been made. And this is kind of the corporate approach. So let's say that you have a company and you don't want there to be a single point of failure. So if the CEO wants to spend the coins by himself because he knows he's going to get replaced, that cannot happen in a multi-sig situation. You can do a 2 out of 3, or you can do a 3 out of 5, or 4 out of 5, or 20 out of 23, or something like that. So it's all up to you to decide what kind of multi-sig you want to do. But they're not for everyone, and that's the point that Lazy Ninja makes. So not everyone should do a multi-sig, even though they're fashionable. Okay, so it was worth it, I guess. I got 10 arrows. I just need a bow, I think. Were there any more places where I can blow up the walls? I'm not sure. Let's see if I can use the catching net against this guy. He's just running away from me, doesn't want to talk. Oh, this is the Karen. Let me put on the boomerang. He's stunned. I stabbed him with the sword sideways. Now he's gone. I'm gonna get a hammer later on and I'm going to be able to press or nail these posts that are made of wood, and that opens up more exploration points. So is there anything else that I can do in this village? I remember there used to be some sort of race around here, so let's go there. There's a bookshelf here. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to get this book at some point, but how do I start running? Let's see if there's a manual or something. I remember I could hold one button and I could do that kind of running. Is it an ability that I unlock? I'm not very sure. Obviously, it has nothing to do with the weapon that I choose. How do I run? It's not any of these buttons. It's not one of the shoulder triggers. I remember very clearly that you could run into this bookshelf and you could trigger, like, you could get this book because it's important later on in the game, but how do you run? I guess I'm missing something. I feel like an idiot, but it happens. So, if I recall correctly, this guy hasn't spoken with his brother because they had a fight and they built a wall to separate each other. So right now I'm gonna talk to him and they're going to make up. Now I'm quarreling with my younger brother. I sealed the door to his room. Yeah, because that's what you do when you fight with someone. You seal the door. And I'm gonna need a bomb. I'm gonna put a freaking bomb inside of their house and blow it up just to talk to his brother. Did you come from my older brother's room? Is he still angry? Let's see. Are you still angry? So the doorway is open again. Okay, maybe I should make up with my brother. Why don't you just come over here and talk? If you can reach the goal within 15 seconds, we will give you something good. Ready, set, go. I don't see any time running. If you have enough time to read this sign, you should go to the goal immediately. Yeah, so let me figure out the way. It should be up there, right? So I'm going to backtrack and figure out the correct way of getting here. Obviously, I started all the way down here. No, it was... Yeah, it was here. So I go up, 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 left. And then I take this route. But I'm supposed to be running, so what's the button for running? I arrived to this destination and I talk to this guy. And he says it took me 50 seconds. It's not bad. I just need to do like 1/3. You're not qualified, too bad. Why don't you try again? I want that heart, so I'm going to try and get it. So this rock is actually the hint that I need to follow. I suppose I need to get back inside the house and then act like we never spoke before. Okay, and then up to the right. I think it was longer than 15 seconds. It was 23 seconds. I need to learn how to run, how to dash. This is the button for the world map. I'm just wasting bombs right now. I should not. So with A I can lift, read, talk and pull. I suppose I haven't learned yet how to dash, and that's an ability that you learn as you progress. I suppose I did 23 seconds, which is not very bad, but I don't think I could shave 7 seconds from this circuit. So I'm going to try one last time. Why do I keep doing this? What if I don't select anything and I keep the bottle on? It makes that sound. So how do I dash? I remember very clearly that you can dash in this game. What A? You hold it. I suppose I need to unlock something. Anyway, I'm a lot better at understanding how Bitcoin works because I spent a lot more time doing it than playing this one game. So I know that you can watch me play right now and be like, oh, this is such a newbie. He sucks so much. Such a rookie. Has no idea what he's doing. Because I actually don't, so I suppose that kind of assessment is correct. Have I said that I love the music in this game? Because I honestly do. Oh, I found one of the bombs. I love how he keeps on coming back, like he hasn't learned anything from the way that I hurt him, so he comes at me. Obviously, the AI is rudimentary. It was 1991. It was before I was even born that this game got released. And I can take this route, so I go to the right and then up. This is the first time when I meet an enemy who uses a bow. And he left the screen. He was too shy to talk to me. I've spent a lot of rupees on the bombs and on the bottle. So I need to make them back. Okay, so I should get back to talking about my interview with Lazy Ninja that you can find on iTunes, which is nowadays called Apple Podcasts, as well as Spotify. It's pretty long, so you're going to need a lot of patience or else listen to it maybe during different days. But I think it's essential because there's a lot of education out there about how to make more Bitcoins, and there are a lot of content creators who teach you how to trade, and I'm not saying it's always good because most of the times they're wrong and it needs for people to lose money for others to make it. But I feel like there is not enough content about how to secure your Bitcoins, because once you acquire them, once you own them, you need to figure out what to do with them and how not to lose them, because that's the most unfortunate situation. You might lose them because you're a bad trader, which is your fault, but you can also lose them because you suck at security. And you don't want this case to happen. You want to be... Oh, sorry, I cannot talk while this is getting more intense. So I can actually block the arrows with my boomerang. But I need to find a way to also hit him. Okay, so I need to hit him with my boomerang and then he gets stunned. I can continue. I'm on the right track. I guess now I go up. Yep, and up and to the right and then up once again. The map is pretty small. I think it's smaller than the one in the original Legend of Zelda. But at the same time... Come on, stop. At the same time, there is a lot more to it, so at one point in the game you're going to time travel and there's going to be like a parallel timeline that you can visit. So each place that you visit has a corresponding place in an ancient time. And there's a lot of backtracking. There are all of these places that you can visit later when you acquire different abilities. I think it's a timeless masterpiece. I'm thinking about possibly playing it again next week and making a tradition out of this until I beat it. I have never been able to beat it, so I think I was stuck on the 6th dungeon or something. It gets very intricate after a while, so you need to learn the dungeon layout, and I never really had the patience. But now that I get to talk about Bitcoin while playing, and it feels a lot less stressful, and I have an excuse to play. I combine work with play. I don't know what play is anymore, and I don't know what work is anymore. Nothing makes sense. You can make money trading Dogecoin, which never had any development in the last couple of years, so what's rational anymore? Is there any trace of sanity that's left in this world? If there is, let me know in the comments. If there's anything that still makes sense. So I have these evil guards. I remembered them from the first Zelda, which also I got, I think, to the 6th dungeon. There were like 3 more, I think, or 2 more, but I just never found the patience to continue. I think I have a save game from that game, from the original Legend of Zelda, so I can beat it whenever I want, whenever I have like 3 hours, or I don't know how long it takes me. But lately I have been stuck playing Final Fantasy X2, which is a sequel to the otherwise excellent, and I would dare to say it's a masterpiece, the original Final Fantasy X, or 10, or however you want to call it. And the X2 is a continuation of the story. It feels underwhelming. It's kind of a letdown if you think about the story in the first one. But I want to see the end of the story, so I care very much about these characters. I invested about 70 hours in the original, and I want to see what happens next. So I could watch a YouTube video about it, or I can experience it firsthand. And that's why, if you look at my list of games, I have Final Fantasy X and X2 Remaster as the game that I'm playing the most. I think if you look at my stats on my page, let's see, for how long have I been playing? 70 hours or more. There's definitely a lot more. I think I've spent like 6 hours in X2, and the other time was spent in the original. So yeah, I dig it. I think it makes sense, but at the same time I think it only accounts for multiples of 5 or 3 or something. So it might be 76 or 77. I haven't even played Super Nintendo games, and there's lots of great ones. Okay, so this is the Elder, Sahasrara, the village elder and a descendant of the 7 wise men. Oh really? Bitko, I am surprised a young man like you is searching for the sword of evil's bane. Not just anyone can use that weapon. Legends say only the hero who has won the 3 pendants can wield a sword. 3 pendants, okay. Do you really want to find it? I can only pick between yeah and of course. I'm gonna say of course because it's more polite. He's an old man. So good, as a test you can retrieve the Pendant of Courage from the East Palace. If you bring it here, I will tell you more of the legend that give you a magical artifact. Now go forward to the palace. Let's see what you have here, old man. I'm smashing your pots. I hope you have enough money to buy some others to replace them. And I put a bomb in your wall. Link is sort of a domestic terrorist. Okay, so I got more bombs. Convenient. 50 rupees. And 50 more. Let me switch the weapon because I prefer the boomerang. The boomerang. And let's watch the map. Okay, which one did he say that he wants me to bring? The red one, the green one, or the blue one? Let's check again. Or does he want all of them? Legends say blah blah blah. You really want to find it? Yeah. As a test, can you retrieve the Pendant of Courage from the East Palace? I don't know which one is the Pendant of Courage, but I know which direction is east. So I'm gonna go to the right. I think this Zelda music sounds so heroic. You feel like you're really partaking in something world-changing. Just like Bitcoin. Nice plug right there, Vlad. So, top right. It's convenient that it's so close. So, what else do I have to say about my interview with Lazy Ninja? It's very long. We talked about even there's that setup for multi-sig situations that's called Yeti Cold. It's made by JW Weatherman, and I've even received a review like during the episode, a review made by Lazy Ninja. And I feel like that system gets a lot of promotion on Twitter from JW Weatherman, who is the one who designed it, but doesn't get enough scrutiny. You know, you get all of this scrutiny for wallets, for Bitcoin wallets, and everyone says, you know, this is not very open source, this should be a lot more open source and blah blah. But with something like Yeti Cold, I feel like not enough people have paid attention to what it does. And if you listen to the episode on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I've also added some timestamps, so if you go to the link in the description, you're going to find in the article about my interview with Lazy Ninja, you're going to find all the timestamps to all of the discussions that we have had. I've actually listened to it once again and marked every important moment in our conversation. And you can go directly to the part that you find most interesting, and you listen to that and figure out if it helps you, if it provides any useful information to you. I think that's a fair system of consuming content. So this is a broken bridge, there's nothing going on here. I suppose you can call this the first dungeon in the game. The door in the middle is closed. This is also a broken bridge, so how do I mitigate? Oh, there's a button here, obviously. It's nice how new mechanics get introduced along the way. So you have this button, for example, which closes and opens doors. It makes you aware that there's something happening, but there's no on-screen text to explain to you what's going on. You just see it and you experience it, and you have this aha moment. You see, okay, this is happening. If I press this, I lock the gates. If I press it again, I unlock them. It's important for you to figure out stuff yourself. I remember this very vaguely, but I do remember it. Yeah, you can hide in these sides. I think there are puzzles in Breath of the Wild, which is the more recent Legend of Zelda game, that resemble this, and they're not called puzzles, they're called shrines. There's one which has identical mechanics, except that they're in 3D. Let's see what else is happening here upstairs. So there's a reward for exploration. I got 100 rupees just because I was curious enough to see what's upstairs as opposed to going straight forward. I love it when games acknowledge that you are making an extra effort with your exploration, and they give you something else in exchange. Okay, so there's nothing going on here. There's a door that's closed. I suppose that this is the button which opens it. This one also got open, so why not check it out? These skeletons are very good at dodging your sword, but you're supposed to stun them with your boomerang first. Actually, it doesn't work. But the boomerang is just good enough. I was sent by Boomer to use the boomerang against you. Boomerang. I can keep on telling these dad jokes all day. Oh, this is mysterious. There were like 4 creatures or 5 that died here. Them Bones, that's a good Alice in Chains song if you know it. It also inspired one of my favorite levels in the video game Doom. Very underrated band for what it represented in its time. Alice in Chains. I feel like Nirvana gets a lot of undeserved credit for popularizing the movement, but you know, Alice in Chains were there and were technically and musically better. They don't get as much credit. Also Soundgarden. Pearl Jam, I feel like they are kind of in the mainstream. Everyone knows at least their 10 album. I got a compass. Now you can pinpoint the lair of the dungeon's evil master. I love it how they call him the dungeon master. It's not the monster, it's not the fiend, it's Bitcoin. It is I, Sahasrara. I can talk to you telepathically when you touch these tiles. Here is a hint. You can use the treasure hidden in this palace to defeat armored foes. So what he is telling me essentially is that I should be exploring. Oh no. How am I supposed to get there now? Oh well. I love smashing pots against enemies. So this is the master chest. I need the master key in order to open it. Don't hurry it, Vlad. You can do better. Hey, you look at me, look at me, look at me. Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 I messed up. I threw the pot way too early. That's satisfying. Also need a key to get there. I have 0 keys so far. You need the big key. I might be able to open it. In these games, might always means definitely. I love the design of this. It's basically telling you that there's stuff happening upstairs. Very nice. This is how good level design is done. This is what it looks like. Oh no. I'm so screwed. If I were a duck, my name would be right now Screwed McDuck. I need to find health points fast. Luckily, I think this game is kind of on the generous side when it comes to items and health points. So it never feels unfair. The difficulty is on point, but you just have to master the controls and get used to some limitations that you have with your character. Is there a lamp that I can light? I found a small key, so it's a beginning. There is no other door inside of here. I suppose there is no button that I can press because I walked all over. So the point here was to discover the key. And it opens this door. And right now I'm just upstairs of that first screen of the dungeon. I'm gonna try to avoid these spinning skulls for as long as I can. So this is how long the map is here, or the chamber. I don't want to spoil this, but I think I'm getting better. I don't want to do massive fuck up next few minutes and regret that I bragged about doing better, but I got a big key. Thank God. I left so I can get back and hopefully not encounter the same issue. Okay, so I'm back here, and now it makes a lot more sense. I get to the left, and now I'm going to the room which has the big chest. And from there, I guess I can pick up some item. This sucks. I need to find some health points. I think this game is a lot more merciful than the original, as in the original you need to keep full health if you want to have that ranged attack with the sword, whereas in this one you get the boomerang very early on. So it's more balanced, more merciful. If you want to do a complete and flawless run, you're going to... It's harder to do a flawless run, but you're going to have a more efficient attack. So I'm going to check for comments because I haven't seen any, but I'm streaming across multiple platforms, so if you have any comments or questions or anything, I'm willing to reply if you're still watching, I assume. So I do have some viewers on Twitch, which is nice. Let me see, on YouTube there is no new comment, and on Twitch, not Twitter, but Twitch, twitch.tv. On the channel there are no new comments, so I appreciate that at least you're watching. And on Twitter there are no new comments. So I'm just going to continue talking about my interview with Lazy Ninja while I go to the master chamber and open the master chest with the master key. And here I am. I hope that this did not lock the door. It opened it. That's good. Oh. So there's also a button in here. So what else should I mention about that interview? Because I feel like there's a lot of information that's in it that you will not hear from people who work for hardware wallet companies, as these those people are trying to sell you a product. But when you talk to someone like Lazy Ninja, he will be like, yeah, this is what I use, this is what I think about that. I'm a hacker, I work in security, I have these opinions based on my expertise, and you can take my opinion and act accordingly, or you can do whatever you want, I don't care. Whereas there are others who are trying to sell you stuff, and they might not be as honest. I think that's the issue here, because when people have an incentive to sell you something, they're not going to tell you all the disadvantages of their product. They're not going to inform you about all of the issues. You're going to have to find them out from somewhere else. So I like people who are not affiliated with any kind of business and they can afford to be 100% honest. Okay, so it's pointless to return. And I also hope that I get Peter Todd. If you don't know Peter Todd, he's one of the giants of this space. He has been a developer for Bitcoin Core from the early days, and very smart guy, knows a lot of stuff from a lot of fields. He enjoys spending his days just reading random information, just to feel like he has learned something new. And you'd be surprised to find out how much he knows about all sorts of random topics. And I'm gonna try to get him once again on the podcast so we can talk about security and he can provide further advice. There's a lot more that has happened in the Bitcoin space in terms of hardware wallets and security in the last year. We have many more companies that stepped up their game and others that released new products and were not major players in the game last year. So it's important to address their existence and talk with someone who's not trying to sell them but criticize them objectively. I feel like Lazy Ninja is one of these people, but Peter Todd will definitely get more traction and raise more awareness about what you can do wrong with your setups. It's easy to purchase a product and think, you know, this is going to help me, this is good. It's all I ever wanted in terms of security because some sort of marketing department decided to sell this to me and say that it's what I need. But it's hard to figure out and think for yourself and establish what you actually need to stay secure. You have to build your own threat model and realize what it is that can happen that you can lose your coins. Okay, I got the bow. Bow or bow? I think it's bow. Oh, I'm getting my ass kicked. I need to recover somehow. Please, give me some health points. I do have some emulation features, so I can basically roll back and rewind. I'm not sure I want to do that. I want to play this old school, like I would be playing it on a Super Nintendo 30 something years ago. 32, I think, almost. It's insane to think that this game is 32 years old. I mean, it has its signs of aging. It's obviously a product of its time, but it's still excellent. I still enjoy playing this, and I think that's what matters the most in this kind of situation. Is it still an enjoyable experience? So there's this door, and then there's this door. One requires a key, one doesn't. Let's take the one that doesn't require a key. Oh, so this is like a maze where you can collect rupees. It's definitely an interesting risk-reward kind of situation. How much are you willing to risk for money? I risked everything and I've lost everything. So let me rewind. I know this isn't fair. I know I said I'm gonna play this the old school way. But I don't know. I don't want to waste your time with this. I don't want to waste my own time with this. It's interesting to see when and how they freeze. Run. So I scored 400 rupees. I hope I can find some health points. I hate this sound. It would be kind of pointless to get the arrows. I think I've already reached the maximum amount that I can hold at one time. But I still got them for the sake of it. This was very unfair. Wait, I can shoot them in the eye with the arrows, right? This is the way to kill them. I messed up. I can do so much better. And I know it. And I need to rewind to the moment when it's actually a fair fight. So let's get the bow and arrow. I hate this. I honestly hate it. I still got hit. I'm gonna take that like a man. Okay, so I just need to survive this wave. Actually, no, I needed to press that button. Let's see how far I can make it. Right now I got nothing but these arrows. And it's nice that I could replenish my health. He's red, which means that he's stronger. It's like international video game language. If he's red, he's stronger. Plus, look at this. It gave me enough health points and arrows just by smashing these pots. It kind of sucks that I cannot pick up those. Oh, so they cannot be destroyed if I smash pots. Oh no. That was a terrible mistake on my behalf. They need 2 arrows inside of their eyes. Watch me poke your eye with an arrow, sir. How did I miss that one? I guess this leads to the boss of the level. This isn't very hard. But then again, this is the first dungeon, so it's not supposed to be the hardest level in the game. Why am I shooting arrows when I can smash them? Cut them with my sword. Is it cut or is it slash? Slash, not slush. Slush is actually the guy who's gonna be on the Bitcoin Takeover podcast later this month. So if you are following this 8th season, you'll see that I have had Benma from Bitbox on the first episode, and then I've had Eric Voorhees, who represented the Keep Key, on the second episode. Okay, I got the pendant. I lift it above my head just like every item that Link ever acquires. I'm gonna take this to the Elder, and I think that's it for today. I have been going for 2 hours and 14 minutes. That's still a lot of time. And I feel like there's so much that I can mention about what I discovered in the Kobo and what I have discussed with Lazy Ninja during our podcast recording. But it's better if you discover it yourself and you listen, because there is no way I can explain while playing video games something that I have discussed with a security expert during an actual interview when I was paying full attention to what he was saying. Right now I'm trying not to die. That's my main priority. Making sense is secondary. I can guess right now that when I go to the old man, he's going to be like, bring the other pendants to me. Oh, you got a pendant of courage. Now I will tell you more of the legend of Zelda. 3 or 4 generations ago, an order of knights protected the royalty of the Hylia. These knights of Hyrule were also guardians of the Pendant of Courage. Unfortunately, most of them were destroyed in the Great War against Evil that took place when the 7 wise men created their seal. I like how they just generically refer to it as the Evil, destroyed by the Evil. Among the descendants of the Knights of Hyrule, a hero must appear. I see. Bitcoin, I believe in you. You should get the remaining pendants and carry this with you. This is a treasure passed down by the families of the wise men. I want you to have it. Oh, so I got the Pegasus shoes. Now you can execute a devastating dash attack. Whole day for a short time. In the cave on the east side of Lake Hylia, get it. So this is how I dash. I have been trying to do this when I was in Kakariko Village, trying to get that book off the shelf, but you have to unlock the ability. And once you have this ability, it's a lot easier to backtrack and explore the map. You no longer have to constantly walk. So I can go there. Let's see what objectives I have on the map. So there's one on top of the mountain. There is the sword in the forest. But I have to get the pendants first. So I think I'll go to southwest and get that pendant from the dungeon. And that will be the end of the video once I get there. But before that, I need to also grab the extra life that I know I can find in Kakariko Village if I complete that race. It's nice that I can skip entire screens by doing this. I think... No, I have to go down and to the left. Down and to the left. I think it was up and to the left. And from here, once again, go west. Let's see what's inside of this forest. In the middle of forest, actually. I was about to say in the middle of nowhere, but... You have all of these trees. You can actually kill these soldiers by throwing bushes at them. There's this guy who's playing the ocarina and disappears. And I remembered there was a guy in the bar of Kakariko Village who told me about his nephew who went out... Whoa, what was that? Went out playing his instrument and disappeared for a few days. And I suppose this was him, and I gotta go and report and let him know that his nephew is a ghost now. I don't think this is the way to get there. So I cannot take this left, right? Oh, I can. This is where I came from, actually. Pay me 20 rupees and I'll let you open one chest. You can keep what is inside. Loot boxes before it was cool. Open the chest you like. This one. Okay, so I have 420 rupees. This is the perfect number. I'm not going to gamble here. That's not why I came here. Oh, so here are the two brothers who still don't talk to each other. Maybe I should make up with my brother. Go on, asshole. But I'm actually here to get that heart. Ready, set, go. I fucked up so badly. It's a bad idea to do this unless you're in a straight line. Like this. 19 seconds. I have to try again, but I've wasted all of my time around here just trying to make my way. So, second time is going to be a charm, I reckon. This was like the third overall when I tried, but now I can dash. No. I should not pick them up because that's a huge time waster, and I... once again, 19 seconds. What is the faster way? So once I come all the way here, I think it's faster to go like this than to spend time in the bushes. Because you need to cut them and that wastes some time. So I want to cut as few bushes as I can, and I don't want to come this way once again. So I have a feeling that this time is going to be a lot better just because I'm a master of my sword and dashing. And my name is Link and I'm the ultimate Hylian. I think your first instinct there is to actually cut the bushes. Okay. Exactly 15 seconds. You qualified, congratulations. I present you with a piece of heart. Oh, it's just a piece of heart. It's not a heart, which expands my health bar. So this is underwhelming. I've made this effort just to get a piece, and I need 3 more to be able to get a full heart. Still, I feel like I have acquired a new skill to move fast. I like the small waltz that's going on here with the music. Okay. No, I want to go up. How do I go up? I can't believe I've actually wasted some of my health points with that annoying fairy. So I picked up this book. You found the Book of Medora. You can use it to read the ancient language of the Hylia. So it's like a translation book. Like a dictionary. Where is that bar? It's not this one, but wait, this guy had something to say, right? If I recall correctly. Interesting story. There is a lake swimming with Zoras at the source of the river, so it's hard to find. Hehehe, I'd love to see that. Is this loud enough in this microphone? I hope so. I sure hope so. I'm gonna try to do these live streams every week, and I'm gonna try to write at least 3 new articles for the Bitcoin Takeover website every week. And you're going to always... oh, the Karen again. You're going to always find them in the description of these videos. So, partially I do these live streams because I like to play games and I like to have fun. And I also do them to promote my own work in a way that's not, you know, annoying or doesn't feel like actual work for myself, as I figured out that I'm not very good at promoting my work. I'm good at producing stuff, so I can write a lot and I can produce videos and I can create new content, but I'm very bad at marketing it. Plus, I very much suspect... Okay, so she's telling me about the Master Sword. It is sleeping deep in the forest. So as I was saying, I'm very bad at promoting my own work, and at least I can try this. So don't forget to subscribe and like and all of that stuff. If you like the video, it helps other people find it, so it's useful from this point of view. And if you subscribe, you're going to be one of the first people to find out when I decide to produce new content, which I hope is going to be every Sunday around 8 PM Central Europe time. So there was a bar, and in that bar there was a guy who mentioned something about his nephew or something. I think this is the bar or the tavern. My son really liked to play the flute, but he went to look for the golden power and has not returned. Yeah, I saw him, so that's why I came here. But now that you don't care... Well, I saw her, a very nice young lady at the waterfall of Wishing Hills where the river begins. I'm obviously in the wrong place right now, doing the wrong kind of activity. So I should be going south. I hope that this is the lesser difficult level. I've been here. Okay, so from here on, I take the right, and actually I should call it east and then south, and there's that passage between the two places. I hope that this is right. I can only hope. Whoa, a green bomb. Wait, I cannot pick it up. I was like, oh, so cool. I just found a bomb. Maybe I can use it for something, right? And then it blows up in my face. Oh no, I need to get a power up to be able to access this passage point between the two realms. So I have to go up and to the right, but before that... Wait. I want to go to one of these houses, so I should... It should be on my way, I think. The place where I need this book that I just found. So I'm gonna go up, just like the Bitcoin number, which goes up. And now... Let's see... I messed up. Let's see what happens in this house. If I'm not mistaken, this is where I started the journey. Yeah, this is my house. This is from where I have been told to not leave the house. I was under a lockdown. And then I decided, through the power of my sovereign will, to go out and start this adventure. So I'm supposed to go down from here. You're always going down, man. It's always a downer. I don't want to fight you guys. If I can escape fights and I'm not gaining any experience points from fighting you, then what's the point? So there's this passage below. This should be right. I think I'm gonna get to one point where I can no longer go because I need to pick up rocks. This guy has nothing to say here. Pay no attention to the average middle-aged man standing by this sign. Leave him alone. Okay. That was direct. He'll most likely have some sort of role to play later on. Oh, this is so nice. I will soothe your wounds and comfort your weariness. Close your eyes and relax. Nice innuendo there, fairy. In Breath of the Wild, they actually look like hookers. It's actually funny, I beat Breath of the Wild, which is a longer game, but I did not beat this one ever. How do I get up there? Wait, so I need to use the book to be able to translate. I still can't read. Oh, to open the way to go forward, make your wish here and it will be granted. I'm making my wish, I guess. Okay. Stop circling me. This is fun. Okay, so as I said, this is the end. If I'm in a dungeon, and I should be in a dungeon, then this is the end of this episode. I'm gonna continue next week. I feel like I should play more of this. It's fun, it's engaging. I suppose you guys like it if you watch me play it, so there's no reason why I should try something else for next week. So next week around 8 p.m. CET, which is Central European Time, and I suppose that's like 6 p.m. GMT or UTC, Universal Time Channel. I'm gonna be around. Oh, it's shooting lasers just like Bitcoiners, so it has come full circle. Everyone on Bitcoin Twitter has lasers in their eyes, and this eye is shooting laser right now. I don't have a map of this place. I'm not supposed to have a map of this place. Let me create a suspend point and save. I don't know which one of these should be used as a save point, but let me use, these are from 2019, so that's for how long I haven't played Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. So let me look at the time. This is from 3 in the morning. This is from 6 p.m. This is from 10 p.m. And this is from the next day, so this should be the one that's least advanced. And I'm gonna use slot 1. And it's funny, I was actually in this dungeon when I saved here. So I can see patterns here, even if I don't remember what has happened. I can definitely see that I have followed the pattern in this situation. So this has been very fun, and I'm happy that you enjoyed listening to me talk about my work and watching me play Legend of Zelda. I hope that I get to see you next week. And just in case you're not aware, my website is bitcoin-takeover.com or btctkvr.com. You can subscribe to a weekly newsletter that I send. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel and to the Twitch channel. And I don't know, you can like, you can do whatever. Just if you like my work, send me a sign or something and comment on the chat. Be more chatty, because I enjoy talking. I don't like talking to myself. Even though I talk a lot to myself, I enjoy much more to have a conversation with people. So I'll see you around next week.